This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We may be a comic duo, but we take mental health very serious. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and is completely online. BetterHelp is a network with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/amp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/amp.
I always have to fix my microphone cords. I get all wrapped up. So we made our table smaller for the holidays because we decorated our basement where we record, and it's smaller. So my cords get all wrapped up a little bit until we can bring the big table back. Sometimes when you decorate, you got to move some stuff around. So I received a email a few weeks ago now about the ability to stay present during the holidays coming up or just everyday life. And I can absolutely relate, but I want to do just a little bit of research into what could possibly keep us away from staying present. Are we, past thinkers? Are we future thinkers? Are we just constantly worrying? And the answer is yes to all of the above. The inability to stay present often stems from a combination of our past experiences, psychological tendencies, current stressors, past stressors, PTSD, everything you can think of and anything that you're going through is our inability to stay present. So I just want to kind of explore that a little bit, maybe touch on a few things, share some personal experiences. And the first one I want to share, and maybe some of you can relate, is that years ago, I had Graves' disease. It's a thyroid disease, and I went through the radiation and ablation of my thyroid to kill it. I still have my thyroid, but it no longer works, so I am dependent on medicine in the morning. They didn't explain to me that after this radiation and ablation of the thyroid or maybe they explained it to me, but because I wasn't feeling good, I didn't understand it fully. What happens is then obviously I don't have a thyroid to produce any hormones, so it dropped significant. And I didn't realize that what I was feeling was because I needed to go back to the doctor and say, I'm not feeling good. I need some medicine now. And we went to a concert, and I was right in the heart of not feeling good. I was dizzy. I felt lethargic. I could not get enough sleep. All I wanted to do was just go to sleep. But it was a really cool concert. It was Paul McCartney. I don't know how many people can say they've seen him, but I really wanted to go see him with family. But the whole entire time I was sitting there at the concert, I was thinking, I am going to pass out. I need more water. I was so lethargic that I had to keep sipping on water for the whole amazing 2.5 hours. But because I was so stressed about how I was feeling, and I better call the doctor as soon as I get home, and I'll send her a message tomorrow morning, and I just kept going through all that, and how come I didn't take action sooner, and I can't believe I'm here and not feeling well. Like everything was going through that. I could not even tell you any songs that he played that night. And that's so sad to me. And I feel like it's a perfect example. Now, yes, it's a medical thing, right? But I've also done that without medical being involved. Like I've done it where I was with a group of people and I know I had said something stupid years ago when I was with these people. So all I was worried about was what I was going to say and how they thought about me. And are they looking at my outfit, and are they anticipating that I'm going to say something stupid? And again, I don't even remember what we did that night. And I know fun was had by all, I'm putting that in quotes because we sent text messages and such, but I don't even remember the night, where we went to dinner, what we did, what we talked about, because all I was worried about was what I could do wrong. So there's many different stressors that we put on ourselves or different worries that we put on ourselves that stop us from being present. So if you can relate, keep listening. An overactive mind or anxiety, which is why you're here, anxiety makes me poop, often pulls you into the future, worrying about what might happen instead of focusing on what is happening. And like everyone says, or I would think any doctor, any coach, anything, they say you can't fix the past and the future is not here yet, right? So you can't even plan the future because you don't even know how far you're going to be into the future. So you really should focus on the present. And a lot of the common thoughts with this overactive mind or your anxiety is, what if something goes wrong? How can I control the situation? And sometimes you can't control it. You're only controlling yourself and how you feel, and then you're jumping out of the present. And what if something goes wrong? I feel like nowadays, many of us may have that. Like you're kind of, noticing your surroundings, worrying about your surroundings, which I feel like we do, but don't let it control your present. So how about high expectations or just having that moment be perfect? Wanting everything to go perfect can create a constant mental loop of self-monitoring, especially if you're the host. I had that happen. We host often, and I was realizing years ago that I wouldn't enjoy what I was hosting because I was too busy hosting, too busy worrying about, is this person having a good time? Do they have a drink? Have they eaten enough? Is the food okay? And I have learned in these past couple years to just prep for it, host in the beginning, thanks for coming, and then just sit and enjoy. Listen to the conversations. Walk around, make sure, people are fine, everyone. But you know what? People make their own joy. You cannot be in charge of people making their own joy. You can't make someone happy. If they're not happy, they're not going to be happy. Instead of enjoying the moment, my focus always shifted on performance or outcomes or how was it or was this okay or what did you think about the party or what did you think about the event? And then I can't remember the event at all. I was too busy hosting, worrying, having these high expectations that everyone was going to be happy. You can't please everyone. So you have to enjoy it for yourself and those that are there for you and those that are having a good time. And not everything is perfect. I've heard this often with weddings. Not every wedding is pulled off to perfection, but you can't worry about that. It's your day. It's your only day. It's your day. Don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry about having high expectations of it because whatever happens, happens. You're still getting married. You're still with your friends and family. Number 3 is trauma or difficult experiences. I feel like a lot of people that listen to this podcast or hang out on our pages, our socials, have gone through difficult experiences because they've shared it with us. Some have PTSD due to, childhood or different reasons. People with a history of trauma might find it hard to trust their environment, leading to hypervigilance. You're focused on what has happened and could it happen again. Your mind might be preoccupied with scanning for potential threats, even in a safe or enjoyable moment. So there is a time for everything, right? Scan for potential threats when you feel threatened. You're walking down a certain street or you're at the place where it maybe once happened, the trauma once happened. Of course, it's going to happen. No one's telling you not to scan for potential threats because the trauma had happened before. But if you're in a safe and enjoyable moment, take a deep breath and say, I am safe and I'm going to enjoy this moment. Give yourself just a couple minutes before you rescan. Try to remember the moment, even if it's for a minute, because you know what? Our minds will remember that moment. And you'll say, okay, then the next time, maybe you'll have 2 minutes of enjoyable. And then the next time might be 3 minutes. So think about that. Another big one is exhaustion and burnout. Physical or emotional exhaustion can make it hard to enjoy anything fully. When you're depleted, even during fun events, they're going to feel overwhelming, and the brain defaults to survival mode. It's okay to say no. It is okay to say no. I don't care what day of the year it is. I don't care what it is. If you are exhausted, if you are burnt out, it is okay to say no. It is okay to stay in bed. It's okay to scroll on TikTok. It's okay to do whatever is going to help you rest so that the next opportunity of a fun moment, when that comes around, you're ready for it and you can enjoy it. Things happen. The fear of how others perceive us, that can drop our self-esteem. Instead of connecting with the event, we focus on how we're appearing or behaving or what we're saying. Let me tell you, you're amazing. Any social atmosphere, any social event, anything that you do, I'm so happy that you're out there doing it. Don't fear judgment. Don't feel pressure. You get dressed, you get out there, and you go enjoy that moment. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying, doing, looking at you, anything. Don't fear it. You're out there. Enjoy your 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then if it's too overwhelming, go home. Go home. Drive yourself if you know that you put yourself under this pressure. But go enjoy it for a few minutes. The habit of overthinking, Lord, we're all here for that. Some people are naturally inclined to analyze everything. Raise your hand. Oh, it prevents us from simply experiencing the moment. Whew. I'm an overthinker. I think about everything. As a matter of fact, I have a friend that says, why? I'll say, well, I was just thinking about, why? He always says that. Why are you even overthinking it? Be in the present. Be in the now. Now's the time. You're here now. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter what's going to happen in the future. Why are you even overthinking this? I was actually at a race and someone told me that. I said, well, I just want to make sure that, blah, 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 whatever it was. See, I don't even remember it because I wasn't in the present. And he goes, why are you worried? You're among great people here. Just enjoy yourself. And he was so right. Another one would be a lack of practicing being present. So because we are so used to not being present and worrying and overthinking, in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, we're multitasking, we're focusing on screens instead of just fully immersing ourselves in our surroundings. So that could be another one. We have to practice being present. Put the phone down. On the weekends, I put my phone on focus, and then when I look at it, then I respond to messages. Over time, being distracted becomes a habit, and that's hard to break. But listen, I think some of us do this because we can't seem to get into the present because we're worrying, because we're overthinkers, because we have anxiety, because it'll give us a panic attack being around so many people or worried about what we're going to say or what we wore or what we're going to do. So we do look at our phones to keep our minds just zeroed in on something that we're watching on the screen instead of worrying about all that stuff that's on the outside. So we have to practice that. Practice putting the phone down, practice being present if you can. Health issues or discomfort, very similar to what I said in the beginning. Physical ailments like fatigue, pain, a disease, they can definitely dominate our attention. And it makes it super difficult to focus on the present. Mental health conditions like depression can also pull you into the past or a negative internal dialogue. Focus on the present. Focus on the positive. Try your best to step away again for 1 minute. Deep breath. I am here for a minute. And then if you have to leave, you have to leave. If you got to go take a nap, you got to do it. You got to take care of your body so that you can have more moments of being in the present. So just a couple exercises. Of course, we're going to talk about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. If you're having a moment of a panic attack or having anxiety, don't forget there's 5 things around you that you can see. So look around those 5 things. I'm looking at my poster. I'm looking at some Christmas lights. I'm looking at a picture of Elvis that my husband drew. I'm focusing on a microphone and I'm looking at a pillow. Immediately, I just forgot about everything else. Identify 4 things that you can touch: the table, the texture, your clothes, the ground beneath your feet, the chair that you're sitting on. 4 things that you can touch. Takes your mind off of anything else that you might be thinking of. Acknowledge 3 things that you can hear. People in the background. Background music. Distant chatter. Recognize 2 things that you can smell. A candle, maybe the drink that you're holding, maybe the food that you have or the snack that you have. Just 2 things that you can smell. It still takes your mind off of everything. And then focus on 1 thing that you can taste. Do you have gum in your mouth? Do you have a drink? Do you have maybe a snack with you? One thing that you can taste. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. It grounds your senses and it gives you maybe a minute to just step away from whatever you were worried about. Of course, deep breathing. Do it in your car before walking into a place. Inhale deeply through your nose. Count to 4. Exhale everything that doesn't serve you. Just hold your breath and exhale. Whatever you need to do to just kind of slow your heart rate down. Your body starts to relax. Your body needs oxygen. How about some positive affirmations or mantras before you go into a place or before you go to the party or to the concert? I am safe. This moment of anxiety will pass. And give yourself some timing. Don't put pressure on yourself. I'm going to go in and I will be present for 2 minutes. I will be present for 1 minute. I will have a conversation that is positive. I will smile. I will be happy to see the people that are at this party or at this concert. Just a couple minutes. It gets better as it goes, as you practice. Physical grounding. I actually just had to do that last week in a meeting. I had to plant my feet firmly on the ground and I had to feel the connection while the person was talking to me. I had to step away from the conversation for a second, mentally step away from it because the person was not very nice, but I had to listen as best as I could. And I could feel the tile underneath my feet. And I was picturing it being cold and being clean. And then I was able to come back up and listen to what the person was complaining about. I stretched and wiggled my toes a little bit, and it brought attention to my body that gave me kind of like chills, a little bit of a relaxation that I was then able to focus on the person that was talking to me. And I was able to positively answer them. My anxiety dropped a little bit. The panic attack that was starting to come in dropped a little bit because I was able to ground myself and think about something for just a moment, and then was able to be there in the present for that person. They weren't mad at me. They were just complaining. And sometimes when it goes on and the person keeps complaining, I have a hard time with that because I want to listen, but I also want to interrupt them and be like, stop complaining. It's totally fine. But everyone has reasons to complain and be upset about something. So I allowed them to speak, but it was also affecting me. So I had to ground myself. Mindfulness practices focus on the present task, event. Sing along to a song. Notice details about your surroundings, like how many people are wearing red. I did that at a concert once. I was not feeling it. And I told myself, how can I step away for a second and not worry about what I was worrying about? So I looked around and I counted how many people were wearing yellow. I think there were like 20 something around me. And it gave me that minute of, my whole body just relaxed because I was focusing on something else, not thinking about what was stressing me. Self-compassion. It's why we're here. Before events, plan breaks, coping strategies in case anxiety hits. What will I do if anxiety hits? What will I do if a panic attack hits? Do you need to drive yourself so that if something starts to happen, you can just walk away for a moment, sit in your car, listen to a song that helps, or just breathe? Remind yourself that it's okay not to feel perfect and to take small steps to enjoy the experience. Take a deep breath. Try to be in the moment. Be present when you can. And if you're not feeling it, then don't do it. Spend time taking care of you. Have a good day.